Sending out some messages to my friends about some other special cool stuff going on. Guys, we're always doing cool stuff here.
Chad.
Yeah, that's right. We're all Giga Chads here. Thank you very much. Welcome, everybody, to Homeseek. You may have seen it earlier this week on the channel. This is a Frostpunk kind of like survival city builder, more like Mad Max. Reminds me a bit of Atomic Society, but also has elements of surviving the aftermath to it. We'll go ahead and take a look at it, and we'll try to grind our way through the scenario. We're going to play very, very slow. We're in no rush. We got a big O live stream today. Lots of time to analyze the game, and we're going to also, if we fail, we're just going to keep on trucking along and keep on playing. This game, by the way, it's free. This is a free demo that you can download until the game comes out, hopefully sometime later this year. It's probably going to be next year. I think it says 2023, but you never know. You never know. You're mad about Mad Max, lol? Oh, yeah. Well, it certainly got that vibe to it as well. And one of the interesting things about this game is that we're going to be... we have to continue moving. We're not building like a permanent settlement to survive forever because we're looking for a good place to build a home, Homeseek. So part of the game is kind of like how it is in Frostpunk, how, you're constantly... some of the scenarios and DLCs in Frostpunk are not necessarily about building one final permanent home forever. It's kind of more like a survival. Yeah, kind of like an outpost, yeah. I mean, we're supposed to last a few months and then get ready to move on. So scouting is very important, and, you're moving from location to location to find more water. Water is a big thing in this game. It doesn't work like it does in Timberborn, where you can manipulate rivers and hold on to them, but there does seem to be something where you can... if it rains, reservoirs and bodies of water will fill up, and then you can take advantage of those. But eventually, your population gets big enough to where they get depleted. So, got pretty close, though, last time. I did die to death in my video playthrough, which is totally fine, because it was just more of a first look to kind of get a feel for the game and look at its features and things that we could build and research, and how, the workforce worked and how this game separated itself from others. So... it is pretty cool. What's up, Jessica B? Good to see you. Would giving Mad Max an ice cream cone make him less mad? He'd probably go mad for ice cream then. Mad isn't crazy. I don't think it's necessarily that he'd be upset about ice cream. No way. Also, I noticed the title kind of reminds me of Morse code. So I wonder if that has anything to do with anything. Especially the K there. Definitely looks like some Morse code in the words Homeseek. But yeah, this does seem like a pretty fun game with lots of elements to come. Keep in mind it's a demo, so it's going to be wildly, lacking features. Not to mention it's one of the first missions. But I would hope for this game to eventually get a sandbox mode where you do build like a permanent residence or like a permanent home, and that there'll be like raiders and things like that. There's no raiders in the first mission, but maybe eventually there'll be more conflict and stuff like that. I mean, I could definitely easily see it where you could turn like metal and stuff into ammunition and do all that kind of stuff. So good times. Yeah, it does look like Morse code. Yeah, I thought so. I mean, it definitely implies that. I don't think you can actually read it. I don't think it's like actual readable Morse code, but good times. But anyway, hey, all of you guys who are subscribers and watching live now, we're going to have some giveaways today. I am going to do some more giveaways today. I got some extra time to drop keys for you guys. Try to do some every day, so if you're watching live right now, make sure you smash like for luck. Make sure you're absolutely subscribed to for free giveaways and more. And you'll have to watch until the end to know when we're going to do our giveaways, so make sure you do that. Welcome aboard. Good to see you all here. Thanks for an amazing week so far of super chats and memberships and subscriptions and just being awesome in the chat. So thanks for joining us. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get started now with our first live look of Homeseek. We're going to do a little bit more in-depth analysis of the game and get started now. So yeah, again, remember this one is free. It is a free demo for now, coming out sometime in 2023. But the demo apparently will last only for a few more days. So if you're going to play, you should probably do it like right after the live stream. Okay, ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, we're not going to call the town Bear Town. Go.
Today is June 6, 2101. I'm afraid that this may be one of the last of my writings. The water's finally run out down here, just like it did in the old world all those years ago. The others are finally prepping to leave, to emerge back into the world, because now they must go, perish from thirst. I was just a child when the rivers ran dry and the bombs began to fall. And now I've lived an entire lifetime in the darkness of this place.
No!
I barely even remember the world of my childhood. A world underneath the bright sun and blue sky. My skin is pale, my muscles are weak. I'd only be a burden to them in the harsh journey ahead. They're still young and adaptable. I know firsthand of their strength and resilience. If there's water to be found up there, we'll be the ones to find it. If there's anything to salvage from the ruins, we'll be the ones to do so. They know nothing of the society of the old world. They are the ones who might have a chance to rebuild civilization.
He sounds like the narrator for Dodge trucks. Yes. Yes, indeed. Also, I've noticed an issue with the game, too, sometimes, where the sound doesn't come in at this screen. I'll see if it actually comes in eventually. I'll read this and we'll see what happens. A new beginning. The torn and faded map from the bunker indicates a small valley ahead has a shallow water table, and there we indeed find two simple wells dug by a past group of travelers. Almost miraculously, they seem to have some water left pooling in at their bottoms, but we doubt their reserves will last us very long. Either way, with our supplies running low, we don't really have much of a choice, and this valley seems as a good place as any to settle down. Understood. I was trying to skip that to see if we could do something about the sound. Interesting. Let's roll that back.
Today is June.
Must have something to do with the cutscene. There it goes. Okay. We read that. Lifeblood. Our community is desperate for a new source of drinking water. However, even the dirty water from the makeshift wells is currently beyond our reach. Considering we have no means in which to lift the water from the bottom without falling in, we need to build some simple contraption that will allow access to the vital resource. Build a water extractor, water storage, and link the water extractor and water storage. We have 11 hours to do so. One interesting thing about this game, too, is that the water is done kind of like how it is in End Zone World Apart, how water can be contaminated. We're not going to have great water to start with, but we do have like salty water, contaminated water, irrigation water, and then drinking water, with all of them having different like properties and or ways to process them into usable water, either it be for irrigation or for drinking. Foraging. With the last of the prepackaged rations gone, we need something to fill our stomachs. Small bushes struggling to grow in the dry wasteland can bear insubstantial clusters of nuts and berries, and though we can't be certain that they'll be safe for humans, we have no other choice. Build a food storage and link it to a berry bush. Great. Lifeblood. Our community is desperate for a new source of drink. Wait, didn't we read that? I popped up the same objective twice, I think. Okay, we gotta get building then. Alright, we're gonna be pausing a lot so that way we can move everything like a chess move. Lots of junk over here. So these piles are basically like how it is in Frostpunk with coal or wood or steel or something sitting on the ground. And it's kind of the same with the berry bushes, except it's an actual food source. Got railroad tracks to the south and a highway to the north. Alright, let's build a water extractor. I'm gonna move a little bit over here for you all. Let's scoot in right over here. Boom. What is this? Like a CD drive or something? Okay. So day 0. Okay, so this also kind of works like Frostpunk 2, how there's work days. Right now it's like it's morning, so nobody started work yet. We're on day 0. So it looks like people start working at 8:30, I think. Maybe. Also, it looks like we don't need to have like empty workforce in order to build stuff. It seems like how it works in Frostpunk, where everybody can be assigned, and then at the end of the day in their free time, they quickly build a building. So that's kind of cool. Let's start with the water extractor. We'll start with one right here. And what does it say about the building? Water extractor. Water extractors are used to collect water from small sources on the surface of the earth from wells. Okay. Now we're also supposed to build a forager. Or rather a food storage. Unfortunately, we can't build there. I think we can get 3 sources of food in. What is this anyway? The flatbed trailer there and just a pit. Would be interesting if we could pump the water in here as a water reservoir. Lunas, thanks for the 20, dude. All is well today. Thank you very much. Good to have you back in the streams. Another survival game? Yes, indeed. Not many games are like that, though, you know? Even, like, recent RPGs kind of have elements of basic survival. So it looks like the best place to put it is going to be, like, here. But I think we can eventually move it. I don't think there's a way I can get it to reach that 4th one. And it's just simply going to be out of range. Alright, so let's build that here. That's the well. We'll build food storage right here. Okay, and then we also need to build a water storage. Now, an interesting thing about this game that it doesn't tell you at the very start is that there's... So you need to connect your water pumps and your water storage together, and you can use additional scrap in order to make higher quality pipes, which means that you lose less of the water. So there's kind of a thing about efficiencies. So in my opinion, it's best to build like a extractor with a storage next to it with pipes. Might cost you a little bit more in scrap, but scrap is pretty plentiful in this game. So it's going to be a good idea to build those two next to each other. And try to go for a higher quality pipe when you link them. So I'm going to do that then. Nope. Oh yeah, there we go. Hi, Alloy. Oh, this is a demo, yes. Which means it's free now on Steam. Okay, so those things are building. So our resources are salty water, useless unless it can get cleaned. Strangers are required... No, sorry, storages are required in order to be able to gather this resource. Contaminated water can be used for citizens' needs and irrigation, but poisoning chance is high. Storages are required in order to be able to gather this resource. Irrigation water can be used for citizens' needs and irrigation with a medium poisoning chance. Storages are required in order to be able to gather this resource. Clean water can be used for citizens' needs and for irrigation with a low chance of poisoning. Storages are required in order to be able to gather this resource. Food can be used for citizens' need. Food storage 50,000. That's weird. That must be taking into account that we built one of the Well, this already says we have food storage, but none of the buildings are built. Also, scrap can be used for all construction. Storages are not required. Okay. So we don't need storage to store scrap. And I think that might be happiness, or... Oh, that's number of people. So we're starting with 15 smiley faces. Cool. Oh yeah, and there's a whole tutorial for it too. We'll read through a lot of this as well. Seems like a good idea to read that when the time comes. All right, let's watch and wait for construction. We'll wait for our people to arrive. All right, we're going to connect the water extractor to the water storage too. And we'll use plastic, which will cost us more, a lot more scrap, but we can afford that. Lifeblood completed. Our community is desperate for a new source of drinking water. Oh, never mind. That's just the briefing of what we already did. All right, let's get cracking on removing scrap. And link food storage now. Daily needs. We must secure enough resources for everyone. Add workers on the water extraction and connected berry bushes in order to do so. Keep in mind each citizen needs 500 food and 500 water every day. You'll also need more scrap, so make sure you assign more workers to scrap piles too. Alright, so we gotta maximize water and scrap. And we're losing a lot of scrap because we're building a lot of stuff, but that's just going to be the way it is. Game seems very cool. I agree. Very cool game. Also, yesterday, just as a note, I did receive a notice from an evil organization. I'm not sure if it's associated with the Empire from Star Wars, but something called Comcast Xfinity. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but... Anyway, they told me that yet again, I may have interruptions today. Back in July, I took a whole day off because they were just like, hey, your internet might possibly be out for a multitude of hours. So I just left and went to an amusement park because I didn't want to deal with them. But then, literally yesterday midday, they were like, oh, hey, your internet's just going to be down, so deal with it. And it's like, okay. So if the stream goes down, my deepest apologies. You know how the cable guy is. Hey, we'll be out there somewhere between now and Jupiter exploding. Your service could be out for 10 seconds or until time itself ends. Okay. Yeah. Bye. Just don't forget about me, chat. That's all I'm saying. When I'm gone, don't forget to subscribe to Jessica B or Jerry or Red or Buford T Gamer or what was that one guy I used to stream with? He could fly wherever he wanted to around the world. I forgot. No, it's not Superman. Alright, so by the end of the day we need to have... And by the way, what's the timer on that? Okay, it would be nice in this game that there's a little, white timer that's kind of Oh, you know what'd be really cool? Is if instead of a bar, that they had, a little hourglass with sand. Because, we're surrounded by nothing but sand. Be cool if there was a little thing. It would be nice to hold over the thing and see how much time you have left. I can't see it at a glance. I have to click on the actual objective. Okay, let's pause again. And start getting everybody working. We had 5 people on the scrap pile here. Also, it's not showing how many people are assigned to each thing. I think it should. I don't know if I hit a button or something, but it's not displaying... Not displaying how many people are assigned at a thing. The timer at the bottom, this just shows time of day. Anyway. Glad we went with the higher quality pipes. All right, let's get 5 people on the water extractor. 5 people on the storage and 5 people on bushes. And then we'll link the other ones together. Kind of weird that you have to link, but it is kind of cool that you can at least assign it. I guess the goal here would be... I've never seen the berry bushes run out either. Oh yeah, they do. 30,000 at each source. So eventually we'll have to go for farming. Let's on pause. By the way, this is maximum zoom out, maximum zoom in. Bum, 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 bum. Alright, we have enough scrap now. That's great. I'm going to try not to build anything until we complete the goal, just so I don't spend my scrap. We're gathering food now, and how about water? Water storages can be linked with water collectors and converters in order to store water of any type. Food storages can be linked with food collectors, converts to store food. Okay. Buildings look pretty cool. There's another water source here too, so eventually. Yes. Yes, this is pre-recorded with me answering pre-recorded questions, yes. What's that? A member bomb? Why, thank you very much, 8 individual viewers, for your member bombs just now in the chat. Wow. Thank you, chat, for turning on your allow button so you can claim those awesome gift memberships. Wow. Thank you very much, viewer 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and whatnot. Bum, bum, bum. Wonder if you can see how you've connected them. Oh yeah, you can change your pipeline at any time too. With plastic being the most effective at the moment. That's pretty cool. You can build them cheap and then eventually upgrade if you don't have the scrap. So if you get in a pinch, you can try to save some materials. Okay, so we need 5,000. Food is going to be the hardest thing to get. We're just going to take it slow. Also, this is, yeah, certainly a good area for farming. Eventually, we will do some farming there. Ooh, look, a crashed helicopter. Let's see. Concrete pipes, cars, silos, scrap piles. Oh, there's a tank there. Cool. Alright, we just need food now. What else we got? We can build an expedition center and a research center. Expedition. Expedition centers are needed in order to form expedition parties and send them into the wasteland. Yeah, kind of like how it is in Frostpunk. Research center is needed in order to research new technologies and upgrade existing buildings. House. Houses are used by the citizens in order to cover their need for shelter. Yeah, our people don't have shelter right now, but it's not our goal at the moment. Right now it's getting some omnoms. So it looks like water's coming up. Oh, look at that. They're using like pumps. And then the water's coming out into this little trough and then being somehow gathered up into this tank and then brought over here to pipe it to the water storage. Okay. What's our total capacity? 50,000. Then as for food, it did say it was like 50,000 as well. Yeah. Okay, so each one of these storage sites gives us 50,000 capacity. That's pretty cool. You wanted to buy some camo pants, but you couldn't find any. Lol. Good one, viewer. And job done. Daily needs completed. We must secure enough resources for everyone. Yeah, we did it. We got it. Now what? I don't want to build anything too hastily. We will need an expedition center, though. And doing that sooner than later might be a better idea. Let's build that up here. That's probably a good idea to start that expedition center as soon as possible. Almost the end of the workday, so we'll speed up time a little bit because nothing will get done at nighttime. Except for maybe building. Health concerns. The poisons of the old world saturate our food and water, making the simple act of eating and drinking exacts a toll on our health. It is certainly no coincidence that an epidemic of illness has surged through our community ever since we began foraging for food instead of relying on sterile prepackaged rations from our bunker. We need to find a way to combat these health concerns. Wasteland medicine quest will commence. Find a way to cure the symptoms. Illness and injury lie in wait around every corner in this unforgiving place. Even our food and water make us sick just by consuming them. Until we find a way to make our community safer, we need to be able to treat unhealthy citizens. If we don't find a solution soon, it might not be long until there isn't a single healthy individual among us. Build expedition center. Create a new expedition party and send it into the shantytown. Research and build the medical station. 72 hours left. Oh boy. Alright, so we'll build the expedition center. Well, that's cool. The piles where you can work actually are lit. They put like a little torch over there. That's cool. Alright, now we can start a new expedition. We have to unassign some people. Alright, we'll send 8 people on the expedition. Oh, we can send 6 in total. Okay. Okay. Alright, so we can send 6 people out on an expedition. So let's do that. Yo, Matt, thanks for becoming a little raptor. Thanks for smacking the join button, dude. Appreciate the support. Make sure you take enough resources with you before heading out. Each explorer requires 500 food, 500 water, and 500 scrap every day in order to cover their needs. Now, see, this is interesting because after doing this before, it seems like the food and water you send with them is more used for, like, possible random events. Maybe. Let's take a look at the little tutorial thing first. Expeditions. One of two. You can send expeditions through the Expedition Center. In order to do so, you must form a party with at least 2 citizens. After adding the citizens, you can add resources to take with them on the trip. While outside the settlement, the explorers will consume food and water to survive and scrap to build shelters. If they fail to cover these needs, their smiley face may drop to low, which can in turn cause them to abandon the party and the settlement altogether. Okay. Seems like you can just redo that, though. Like you can just send them water and food when they're out in the field. Well, on an expedition, they can travel to available nodes on the world map and start exploring them. In these nodes, they will encounter events. They might require your decision in order to proceed. If not, they'll continue exploring the location and collecting any resources possible until the node is completed or your intervention is needed. Okay. Oh, wow. Orchid towers, used to gather contaminated water from air humidity. Oh, so here's all the buildings in the game. There's an Archimedes screw, so you can move things from low and high. That's really amazing. There's a water mill. Well, that produces electricity. Alright, so there's electricity in the game. This must be for converting... Oh, irrigation water to clean water. Okay. Okay. There's a lot of stuff here. A water distribution center. Solar panel farm. Medical center is what we're looking for when we go out into the field. So let's see. Medical centers are used by citizens in order to recover health. Citizens often lose health from events or the consumption of unclean food and water. Citizens with reduced health will search for a medical center in open slots. Once inside a medical center, the citizens will start recovering based on the number of workers and patients the medical center has. Once the health is full, they'll exit the medical center. When a citizen is admitted to the medical center, he'll abandon any worker placement he has. Healing rate is proportionate to the number of active workers and admitted patients. Oh. Okay. So, the more doctors that we have and the less patients we have, the faster the healing will be. And then the opposite, too. Alright, let's go. Oh, we can only carry 24,000, so... maybe we can carry about 6,000 each. We'll carry maximum scrap. Maybe more. I don't know how much we'll generate the next day, but expeditions are going to be long and costly, so... What is this? Not sure what that means. Alright, they're waiting for explorers to gather now. Okay. Here's a look at the world map too. Shantytown and Mudlands. More locations will unlock as we go further. Kind of cool too. I think this world map changes based on like weather and or day and nighttime, which is pretty cool. Kind of cool looking game. I agree. Alright, let's wait until work time tomorrow. Never mind. Go to Shantytown. Shantytown. No information available. Alright, so they'll make it there in 5 hours. I guess the only way to see how that team is doing is by clicking on the Expedition Center. Alright, we made it. Wastelanders. That's the name of our expedition team, I guess. Shantytown, a community that formed in the fresh ruins of the old world itself, now long abandoned. Some of us find it hard to believe that such living conditions were once considered only appropriate for the most poor parts of society. Rather than being the norm, scavengers have since picked most of it clean, but perhaps we might still find something useful among the dusty rows of decrepit makeshift dwellings. As our expedition makes its way on, we begin to pass huts and shacks growing frequency. A community once lived here, but now it's long abandoned. Searching for supplies through some of the ruins, we hear a weak growl from a nearby shack. We find a mangy dog there, its leg caught under some debris. What do we do? Try to free the leg and give it some food and water. Dog looks dangerous, we should stay away. Looks like it could still have some meat on its bones. We could use 500 water and 500 food in order to free it. All these options, of course, cost us food or water or scrap or all three, so... or any sort of combination. This'll cost us some extra time, too, by the way. So... alright, that'll take us an extra hour and 19 minutes. The dog growls but lies down as we get close and free its leg. We're able to give it some of our supplies, which it hungrily laps up, plus smiley face. Alright. That raises happiness. Continuing onward, we find a trailer home that seems to be in slightly better condition than the other dwellings. A large red cross is painted on one side. Before entering, we find a large locked trunk around back. It seems as if a container designed to be safe even from large wildlife when left outdoors. What should we do? Maybe we can jimmy the lock with the right tool? We spent some time making a makeshift lockpick. Strangelanders arrive. A group of strange wastelanders arrive at our doorstep, apparently wanting to join our community. They speak in a weird accent, and we don't recognize them from our time in the bunker. They must have somehow survived on the surface all these past years. They brought a small offering of food and water in an attempt to convince us of their good intentions, but the others are prejudiced against their strange mannerisms and wish not to accept them with open arms. Well, we got to accept them. We need the workers to work those things to keep the expeditions fed. We can't very well trust them. The prejudiced among us protest, but are overruled. That's fine. We need the workers. The container was easy to open with some aluminum sheet. Inside we found... Oh, it's full of rare medical supplies. Excellent. We come around to the front of the trailer home and break down the door. We find multiple corpses lying on cots inside. The decayed flesh is still connected to IV drips. It seems the whole trailer once served as a makeshift hospital. The equipment seems in good enough condition to use for our own purposes. We pack up medical equipment and prepare to haul it back home. Good. We can bring the medical supplies back, and then we can start research on the medical center. And now let's reassign the workforce to water and food. We have 4 free people. Go with 4 more on food. We build... When we get that back, we're gonna need to build a research center to research the medical stuff in order to build a medical center. Oh, what are these? 2 of your citizens are exhausted. Make sure you have enough houses for all. One of your citizens is dehydrated. Citizens will consume water from your storage or distribution. 1 citizen is sick. Okay. Well, we have water, so that's good. So they just need to go grab a drink. And the medicine thing we're working on. Homes will have to be for later. Wait a minute. The shantytown quest is wrapping up, so let's wait for this to be done. They're packing things up. Getting ready to head back home. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Let's go home. We do have medical supplies with us. You know, I feel we have to go home. As soon as the exploration discovers the research, you can build it? Oh, really? Okay. We don't have to come home at all? Then we'll go to the campus, the next closest location. So we looked at the tooltips. It doesn't say anything about that. Okay, I think there could be some better communication that way then to let us know that, you know, because they indicate in the text that they're packing it up, which implies that you'd have to, like, bring it home. But it'd be interesting if the Expedition Center had to employ somebody who could then go to those places where the expedition teams were. It'd be cool if the expedition teams went to a place, looked around and explored and gathered things, left it in a box, and then there'd just be a recovery team at the expedition thing that would just go and get the box and then bring it back. And then they could have like a little, I don't know, a cart or something like that. Okay, so now we just got to focus on researching. So we got to have a research center, which means we'll also need a free set of hands to do the research. So